All right, guys, welcome back to our Wellness Wednesday series on YouTube. Today I'm joined by our Poosh team, and we are going to answer your questions that you submitted through our newsletter and through Instagram. So be sure to follow us on Instagram and subscribe to our newsletter if you want to be submitting questions in the future and to stay up with all things Poosh. So we are a small team at Poosh and we all wear many hats. So I thought it would be nice for everyone to introduce themselves and say what their role is at Poosh. What's your name?
Penelope.
This is Penelope, and she is the president and muse of Poosh. So we can go on to everyone.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm the Chief Content Officer.
I'm Jonathan. I'm the Vice President of Sales.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I am the Managing Editor.
Hi, I'm Rob, and I'm the Director of Brand Partnerships.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm also Director of Brand Partnerships.
Hi, I'm Brittany, and I am the Brand Manager.
Okay, thanks, guys. So on to my question. This is how to protect mental health from cyberbullying. And I feel like this is a good one because, you know, I do see a lot of negativity. There's so much positivity as well, and I think we tend to focus on the negative. And I notice for myself, like a lot of questions, like the negative questions stand out to me where I just want to respond to those people sometimes even more than the positive ones, which isn't always fair. But you know, like I noticed someone left a comment the other day. They kept commenting on a photo that I posted saying, you know, pregnant. And I commented back and said, this is the shape of my body. I've definitely, you know, gained a few pounds over this quarantine time. And I love my body and I'm proud of, you know, my shape. And I'm obviously posting it. And this is the shape of my body. I don't think I look pregnant at all. We're all shaped differently. And that's my body and I'm proud of it. So that's how I respond to the negative comments. I think it's not always easy. Sometimes I can be more sarcastic and, you know, but I think kill them with kindness is kind of my motto, and try to not really let those comments affect you. And if they do, then I think, and you know that, just don't look at comments. And I know it's easier said than done, but to really try to just keep the positivity and for your mental health. Anything you'd like to add?
No.
Okay, Sarah, on to you.
Thanks, Court. Okay, my question I'm going to answer is about acne treatments. So I always thought I'd grow out of acne, and sadly I didn't. And I think that the biggest misconception of acne is that acne is just a one size fits all and there's, you know, some sort of treatment that works for everyone, which just isn't the case. So I would say I've been a beauty blogger my entire career. So I've had the privilege of trying so many products and so many treatments, and also speaking with some of the most amazing minds in the wellness and beauty space. And one of the things that I've learned is less is more. So if I have an active breakout, I will always cut it back. I take out all acids. I never use oils, but that's for me personally. If you are going to use oils, remember that there can be a purging process. It can take up to a month. Know which ingredients work for you. Likewise, know what you're putting into your body and how that affects your skin. For example, for me, I know that vitamin C can make me break out, and I know that oils can make me break out. So make sure that none of those are in my, and I don't use essential oils, which is kind of a new thing. So I make sure that none of those are in my products that I'm using. And when I am going through active acne, I'll just wash my face with a gentle pH balancing cleanser. I do not strip my skin or use anything too drying, because acne can, of course, as we've all learned at this point, once you dry your skin, your oil glands produce more oil, which then in turn creates more acne. It's just a vicious cycle. I also will use something like a hyaluronic acid, which is very, very calming. And I use one that's fragrance free and has no oils. Again, I actually use our Aura and Poosh CBD Hyaluronic Halo, which sadly is no longer in stock, but hopefully we'll be getting it back in. But just make sure that you check your ingredient listings. And then during the day, I always use a sunscreen. And at night, I personally use a retinoid. I love the way that a retinoid works. If you know how to use it properly, I think it can really help your texture and tone. Always use it at night, work your way up to the amount that you're able to use, and always wear sunscreen in the morning, because it will make your face so much more photosensitive. And then I guess my final thing is that, as I said, like knowing what you put into your body as well. So for me, I know that if I have sugar, I'm going to break out. It's just the way my skin is. For other people, it's dairy. For some people, it's gluten. So, you know, is the Oreo cookie worth it? Sometimes it is. And sometimes it's not. And then at-home treatments, I think the best one, honestly, is LED light therapy, and the blue light kills bacteria. We have a product that we just started selling on shop.poosh.com, which is an LED mask, which has 3 different lights, and one of them is the blue light. And I know Kourtney's a huge fan of it, and so am I. It's really great for killing bacteria on your skin. And I love the red light too for anti-aging. So those are my tips. And now, Jonathan, on to you.
Awesome. Okay. I'm going to answer, what does a quarantine morning look like for you? Now, this is a great question. I think we can all agree we have adjusted our morning routines somewhat to this new normal. However, I've realized that some of my morning habits have not changed, such as waking up and immediately checking email, or waking up and cleaning the house. However, I also stick true to consuming my apple cider vinegar in the morning, which I really find helpful for myself to just ensure I have a very productive and efficient day. But now knowing that this new normal kind of not as routine as it is also tends to get a little bit stale, I guess, from what really motivates oneself. I find that if I take those few minutes for myself each morning and really, whether play my favorite music or, you know, really kind of set my affirmations for the day, just really is motivating for myself to stay focused. And also, one thing that I've been very mindful of as well, and I've been zoomed in on, is portion control as it pertains to any caffeine intake in the morning. You know, I'm used to being in market and going on meetings, but because it's new normal, it's a lot of over Google Hangout or Zoom. We don't get that day-to-day interactions and hustle that we're used to. So I'm being very mindful of that, because I also will find myself looking around the house at various projects that I might need to take on. So as long as I'm mindful when it comes to that consumption, it really helps just myself stay focused on what's important and what I need to get done that day. So it really just case by case, and just can't be too hard on yourself as we adapt to this new normal. And Michelle, I think you're up for the next one.
I am. Okay, how about this one? The best advice for someone entering their 30s for skincare and diet. So this question is perfect timing because I'm turning 30 next week. So I would say the top skincare and diet tips I would recommend are obviously staying super hydrated, so drinking plenty of water, washing your face at night. I think even if you are feeling super tired and lazy and don't want to, it's just super important to cleanse your face and hydrate at the end of the night. And you know, you don't want to go to bed with dirty makeup or whatever residue from the day on your pillow, because you sleep on that all night and then it just clogs everything and the bacteria is on your face. Another tip, to add collagen into your daily routine. You can do this with our Vital Proteins Blueberry Vibes or our Moon Milk. So just working that into your daily routine. And then another tip I actually got from Kourtney is using any skincare products that you don't necessarily love on your face, but you don't want to waste them. So using them on your body or your elbows, and just so you're not being wasteful. And then wearing SPF every day, even if you're indoors. It's super important to protect your skin. And make sure to apply to your hands as well, because that's one of the spots that start to age quickly as well. And then, as Sarah mentioned, investing in a skincare tool. So it's 3 lights in 1 mask, and the red helps with inflammation and redness, the blue with acne and breakouts, and then the amber light helps with age spots and melasma. And my last tip would just be get a proper amount of sleep, because that obviously affects your mental health, and also, you don't want to wake up with sleepy, tired eyes. So get proper sleep. Rob, on to you.
Thanks, Michelle. I'm going to go with, how do you deal with anxiety? So this is an interesting one. I think, of course, with the current pandemic going on, I've actually suffered from anxiety prior to the pandemic. So I think, like most of us, it's, we're prone to feeling more anxiety in this situation just because we're thrown off of our normal routine. So there's some natural things that I always do, and Poosh actually posted a great story about it, some things that I've kind of followed, of course, aside from the obvious of meditating. But like Jonathan was mentioning, I've been monitoring my coffee intake. That definitely affects my anxiety pretty heavily. So I've been monitoring that, drinking chamomile tea and things like that. But just some other things, I'm a pretty type A personality. So if you are similar to me, the first few weeks were really daunting from this pandemic, just really throwing me off of my schedule. So I've really been trying to stay pretty regimented, but at the same time also giving myself kind of the freedom to not compare myself to others, because I think, like most of us, we put the pressure on us from this pandemic to, stay productive and learn a new language and things like that. So I'm still motivated and I'm doing what I need to do to get by, but there's also the days where, I may be less motivated, and that's okay. And then lastly, I think just something super important to me, I've just been treating myself every day. So that's every day that looks different. So whether that's catching up with an old colleague over Zoom for happy hour, or, going for a run outside, or just doing different things like that, I think it's really important, especially now, to treat yourself. So also online shopping, like most of us, I may be doing a bit too much of that, but yeah, that's kind of what I do to cope with my anxiety. So Sam, I think you're up.
Thanks, Rob. Okay, let's see. How about clean, easy dinner ideas, which is perfect for me. I do a lot of the recipes for Poosh. So everything I'm going to talk to you about, you guys can find on the site. I'm mostly gluten-free and dairy-free. And I'm a working mom with 3 kids, 12, 9, and 6. So for me, it's all about just instilling healthy eating habits with my kids. And I also don't have time to be making really complicated meals or different things for different kids. It's kind of, I'm going to make one meal and try to get my kids to try new things, and, and cook healthy meals. So the salmon we recently re-promoted on Poosh, it is so easy. It's simply seasoned, has some honey and lemon. It's one of our favorites. It's one of the easiest dishes you can make, and you cannot screw it up. That's a favorite. And there's other things like meatballs that are great for kids, super easy to make. You can serve them with rice or pasta or a side of vegetables. I'm also a big fan of bowls. So I do a shredded chicken bowl that's on the site. I put it over spinach with some coconut aminos, and you can throw anything you have in the fridge in that bowl, whether it's some leftover veggies or, a dip that you might like, some sweet potatoes. So that's a good one. And then sometimes if I end up having a big lunch, I'll just do something small, like a fruit bowl for dinner. And that's also on the site. And that you could do like sliced apples, banana, some coconut yogurt, maybe even a little granola, and peanut butter, almond butter. That's a favorite of mine and Sarah. So that's kind of it. But I think just keep in mind well-rounded and, vegetable, protein, carbohydrate, and, incorporate any dietary restrictions you guys might have. And I'm going to let Brittany finish it off.
Thanks, Sam. So I'm going to be answering how do you keep positive during quarantine? So I stay really positive by really allowing myself to feel how I feel in any given moment. And I know that seems so simple, but I think with quarantine especially, it's really easy to feel like I should, be really fit right now. I should be eating really healthy right now. I should be, I should have read like 3 books by now with all this extra time. And I think by allowing myself to feel how I feel, it takes away that pressure because my weeks do fluctuate. Like one week I'll feel really motivated to exercise and I'll eat really clean. And then the next week I'm like completely not motivated and I'm lazy. But I try to talk to myself kindly and remind myself like, okay, I'm human and my emotions are going to fluctuate and that's okay. And I try to talk to myself the way that I would talk to like my sister or friend. And, I wouldn't put them down or say, you should be doing this or you should be doing that. So I try to remind myself and talk to myself that way. And then something else I do is I try to foster the relationships right now, especially that we're apart, the relationships that really make me feel good and make me feel grounded. So I luckily am with my parents right now, but I'll check in with my sister who's in San Francisco a ton, my best friends, and like I'll just try to keep that conversation normal and as consistent as possible and just even see how they're doing. And kind of checking in on them takes away the focus from something I'm feeling and kind of, helps me process my feelings too and make things feel as normal as possible. And then I also turn to music a lot. So while I'm working at home, I'll like put in our Poosh positive playlist or our morning playlist. And, when I'm working out, I'll use our workout playlist, like Chloe's Beast Mode playlist. And music just really has a way of, taking normal routines and boosting your energy and your mood. So I try to stick to that. So that's it.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us for this week's Poosh Wellness Wednesday, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.